Welcome to iscope.media. Here we bring you today the 5 key factors in play in the upcoming UP Assembly Election 2022. Well, as the contours of the rival political formation and parties' efforts to woo voters become clear with the countdown for the 2022 Uttar Pradesh Assembly Election, well, here we have the several factors that are likely to play a major role in the upcoming election. Let's have a look at the key factors that would be in play in the 2022 UP polls. First comes the caste. The caste equation remains a primary factor as political parties stretch themselves to woo voters of the respective caste bases in Uttar Pradesh. Ahead of the election, the Samajwadi Party President Akhilesh Yadav on January 2nd offered puja at a temple having a 108-foot tall statue of Parshuram in village Mahurakala in Purvanchal Express, which is near Lucknow. This was mainly to attract the Brahmins towards his party. Akhilesh Yadav's move was seen as a Brahmin outreach bid. Well, days after Akhilesh Yadav's Brahmin outreach efforts, Uttar Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Dinesh Sharma and other BJP leaders inaugurated a temple of the god in Lucknow. The move is being seen as another attempt by the BJP to placate the electorally dominant Brahmin community. In political circles, the unveiling of Lord Parshuram's statue in Lucknow was seen as part of BJP's efforts to counter Akhilesh Yadav's bid to impress the Brahmin community ahead of the polls. However, BJP dismissed the Brahmin outreach bid and claimed the party has honored all castes and communities since time. It's not BJP but Akhilesh who is imitating us. BJP has installed idols of Parshuram in Kanpur and other places earlier too. Not only Parshuram, the BJP has also been honoring icons of all castes, Sharma has said. Well, Brahmins account for nearly 13% of the state's population, and they are being wooed by all the major parties to brighten their chance in the assembly elections only months away from now. BSP Chief Mayawati has already deployed her party's Brahmin face S.C. Mishra to mobilize their support to revive the 2007 social engineering formula of the Dalits Brahmins combination. Dalits in Uttar Pradesh are an influential caste group. Their population is around 21.6%, which includes 66 Dalit subcastes. 17 of the 80 Lok Sabha seats in UP are reserved for scheduled caste. Of these, the BJP won 14 in the 2019 general election, including the Hathras seat. The Bahujan Samaj Party won 2 and the Apna Dal won 1 seat. Since 1993, when late Kanshiram formed an alliance with Mulayam Singh Yadav's Samajwadi Party and formed the first BSP government in the coalition, Dalits have been voting bloc for the BSP. It was Mayawati who led the BSP to its first government with a majority in 2007 and 2022. A major factor that may divide Dalit votes, especially in West UP, is the emergence of the Bhim Army chief Chandrasekhar Azad. Well, Chandrasekhar Azad in November last year had declared that he will contest against UP CM Yogi Adityanath in 2022 Uttar Pradesh polls. Well, this was about the caste. Now if we move on to the COVID pandemic, well, poll rallies and public meetings have been cut short this time due to the coronavirus pandemic, as various parties have started rolling out plans for a virtual election campaign. The Election Commission, in an announcement said on Saturday, banned public meetings and poll rallies till January 15th in view of the spike in COVID-19 cases across in the country. COVID pandemic is set to play a major role in UP election 2022 as voters will decide on the popularity of the BJP's government handling of the coronavirus situation in the state. Well, as campaigns shift to the online mode, registering presence and expanding their digital footprint on all available platforms will become a must for all political parties. But reaching out to voters who are not on any platform will be a big challenge for all the parties here. Thousands of crores of rupees are spent on physical campaigning. So it can be expected that the expenditure may come down drastically because of the switch over to the online mode. Well ahead of the polls, the Yogi Adityanath government in Uttar Pradesh rolled out fresh curbs to contain the spread of COVID-19 infection in the state. Night curfews, a cap on wedding guests and restaurant capacity are some of the restrictions announced by the Uttar Pradesh government. Well, this was about the COVID-19 pandemic being a factor on the UP election. Now, if we move to the polarization. Ahead of the upcoming assembly election in Uttar Pradesh, various political parties are targeting different sections of the people. The ruling BJP is eyeing to bank on the saffron votes like last time, while Congress, according to the political observers, is holding back its route on a firm coalition of Muslims, Dalits, Brahmins vote in the 2022 UP election polls. Well, earlier UP CM Yogi Adityanath termed the Congress leaders as accidental Hindus, while Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya has termed them as electoral Hindus. It is during the election that these leaders become a Hindu, which meant उन्हें चुनाव में ही मंदिर और अमेठी की याद आती है, Maurya said while addressing a meeting in Amethi on January 3rd. In 2007, the Muslim community voted largely for the Bahujan Samaj Party. In 2012, it was with the Samajwadi Party. But in 2017, it got divided between the Samajwadi Party, Congress and the BSP. Independent analyst Rahul Verma has said the Samajwadi Party has been getting a majority of the votes from the Muslims in UP. The 2022 assembly election is likely to become bipolar. That is, the main competition will be limited to BJP-led and SP-led alliances with other players, including the BSP being reduced to the margins. Well, now if we move to the facts, the Muslims are considered to be the second largest religious bloc, and rough estimates are that their population is 20%. But in 2017 election, the Muslims were divided and the BJP, riding on Hindutva consolidation backed by social engineering, swept the polls. Well, this was all about polarization. Now, if we move to inflation and see the situation, this is another factor that may affect the UP election. The opposition in Uttar Pradesh has time and again targeted the BJP government at the centre and state for price rise. Congress General Secretary and Chief Spokesperson Randeep Surjewala said it's an opportunity for people to defeat the BJP and put an end to unemployment price rise in the upcoming polls in the 5 states including Uttar Pradesh. Well, Uttarakhand, Punjab, Manipur and Goa will also go to the polls in February. Earlier, Akhilesh Yadav-led Samajwadi Party staged protests across the state against inflation, rising fuel and the LPG gas prices, and also unemployment. Samajwadi Party workers staged a protest against the rising prices of cooking gas outside the Uttar Pradesh Assembly building in Lucknow in October last year. Carrying cutouts of the LPG cylinders and black balloons, Samajwadi Party MLAs, MLCs and other leaders took to streets and raised anti-government slogans. Well, meanwhile, BSP Supremo Mayawati also slammed BJP government and said the public will not forget this easily. In the midst of this price rise row, Uttar Pradesh Minister Upendra Tiwari's remark on the fuel price hikes got great attention. Well, that was another controversy again. Now let's move to the freebies and see the situation and how it is a factor to the UP elections. With the assembly elections not far away, many political parties are trying to woo the voters with freebies announcements even before their official manifestos are released. The trend began with Aam Aadmi Party announcing 300 units of free electricity if voted to power in Uttar Pradesh. The party said that all power areas would be waived off and farmers would be given free electricity. The party also promised an employment guarantee and a larger budget for education. On the other hand, the Congress is focusing on women's power. The party, apart from promising 40% reservation for women in the assembly tickets, has been released a women manifesto that promises smartphones and electric scooty for girls. Also, an increase in pension for widows and elderly women, increase in honorarium for ASHA and Anganwadi workers, and free bus travel for women in the state. Congress has also promised 3 free gas cylinders in a year for women. Well, now let's see the Rashtriya Lok Dal. The Rashtriya Lok Dal, which released its manifesto in October, has promised 1 crore jobs to the youth with 50% representation to women in police to check the increasing number of crimes against women. The RLD, if voted to power, has also promised to enhance the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi amount from rupees 6,000 to rupees 12,000 and rupees 15,000 for small farmers. The party further promises to increase MSP for main crops and ensure MSP for the farmers. The Pragatishil Samajwadi Party Lohia, headed by the Shivpal Singh Yadav, has promised a job for 1 daughter and 1 son in a family. He also promised rupees 5 lakh each for every unemployment graduate. Well, this was all about the freebies. Now, if we go forward and look at the law and factor of order. With Uttar Pradesh CM Yogi Adityanath promoting law and order as one of the key achievements of his government in the state, the crime factor is likely to play a major role in 2022 UP elections. Law and order, political observers say, may play a significant factor to determine the voting patterns in the state. National Crime Records Bureau data showed Uttar Pradesh reported the highest number of crimes committed against women with 49,385 cases. However, a series of crimes in Uttar Pradesh saw a decline in Yogi Adityanath's tenure. Rape cases in Uttar Pradesh saw a decline of 43%, while cases of murder saw a drop in 23% during Adityanath's tenure, the NCRB data stated. Earlier, the opposition parties took a dig at the Yogi Adityanath government to encounter cases in the state. However, CM Yogi Adityanath hit back, saying stable law and order in Uttar Pradesh has helped the state emerge as one of the favorite investment destinations. Well, this was about all the 5 factors that may affect the Uttar Pradesh Assembly election and is actually affecting right now. ISCOpe Political Desk will update you with the ground realities. That will be the result on March 10th, which will be lesson to all political parties for the future strategies in their political examination. Well, this was Aparna Singh reporting for iscope media.